Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another video. It is the weekly news roundup, the show where we sit down on a Friday and we talk about all of the latest Everton news from the last 7 days or so. Quite a bit of news to get into today. Let's start with Carlo Ancelotti's pre-game press conference ahead of Everton's FA Cup 4th round tie against Sheffield Wednesday at Goodison Park on Sunday. Carlo Ancelotti provided some injury updates ahead of the game. He confirmed that Calvert-Lewin is back and available to play. He has shaken off his hamstring injury and is fit and available for this game on Sunday, which is obviously absolutely fantastic news. I think it's a brilliant opportunity for Calvert-Lewin if he does start to get back on the score sheet. Obviously, he's probably had a few frustrating performances recently, obviously, prior to that injury, which kept him out of the Wolves victory. Not frustrating for Evertonians, because we know how hard he works. We know the effort that he puts in, and the fact that, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Calvert-Lewin can go 90 minutes without scoring or assisting and he can still be a contender for man of the match because of his work rate and his ability off the ball and his ability to drag players out of games in order to allow some of our players to get a little bit more space. However, I think he will be slightly frustrated with himself recently as to the fact that, he hasn't scored an awful lot in the last couple of weeks or so. He said himself before that he used to go out into football games and if he'd had a decent game, he'd be satisfied at the end of it. But now, if he hasn't scored, he's not satisfied. So I think it'll be a fantastic opportunity if Dom does start tomorrow to maybe break that little, I don't want to say drought, but a little bit of form in the last couple of weeks or so that has meant that he hasn't been able to get on the score sheet, get a couple of goals, build his confidence back up ahead of what is a massive game on Wednesday as well. Carlo Ancelotti also confirmed that Dixie Dean and Alex Iwobi will miss the game on Sunday against Sheffield Wednesday. He didn't say that there was any injury issues. He didn't strictly say they were being rested, but he did say that he expects them both to be back and fit to start on Wednesday against Leicester. So the assumption is they're being rested and there's no injury worries, but it could also be that both players have got slight knocks, which isn't going to keep them out for very long, but they don't really want to risk it on Sunday. So again, we don't know the in-depth details about Dixie Dean or Alex Iwobi, but all we know is that they won't play on Sunday against Sheffield Wednesday, but they should be available for Wednesday's game against Leicester City. Carlo Ancelotti also confirmed that Allan, Fabian Delph and Niels Nkunku will all miss out on Sunday, and Jean-Philippe Gbamin is still not fit. He was asked then about Jean-Philippe Gbamin and how close he is to returning to first team football, and he said we have to take it day by day with Jean-Philippe Gbamin. He's had a really tough injury, so we don't want to rush him back, but he will be back, and when he's back, we want him to be ready to go in and make an instant impact. So good that he's being mentioned. Look, I think Jean-Philippe Gbamin's pretty much brought up in every press conference now. If it's not by Carlo Ancelotti or the media, certainly by Evertonians, when he's not spoken about. Carlo gets asked every single week about injury updates and who's fit and who's not, and over the last couple of weeks or so, he hasn't mentioned Jean-Philippe Gbamin in either category of being fit or not. So we've obviously assumed that he's still not fit, but then there's been that question as to, well, you're saying everybody else who's out is out because they've got this injury or that injury, or you're giving an update on when they're likely to return to first team football, but you're not mentioning Jean-Philippe Gbamin. So I think it was the right decision for Carlo Ancelotti to come out and mention Gbamin and say, look, he's working day by day, we'll be back, but we just don't really want to throw him in too hard yet because he's had a really tough injury, which is completely understandable. Everton Football Club then come out just after Carlo Ancelotti's press conference and confirm that Allan is likely to return within the next 7 to 10 days, and that means that he is likely to be available for the fixture against Manchester United on the 8th of February. So unfortunately, as some of us may have hoped, he won't be available for this game on Sunday, and he won't be available for the game on Wednesday against Leicester City. That does, of course, mean that we'll be without Allan and Abdoulaye Doucouré for that game against Leicester City, after Abdoulaye Doucouré picked up another yellow card in the Wolves game, which meant that he has picked up 5 now and will miss the Leicester game. So it's going to be very difficult, very difficult for Everton to go out there and put a performance in and get a result. But ultimately, it's an update, and hopefully Allan will be back and ready to go and have shaken off his injury come the game against Manchester United, which of course is a massive game as well. So a really, really big game for Allan to return. And that was it for the injury updates from Carlo Ancelotti's press conference. He was also asked about transfers. He said that, we don't really expect anything from this window. He said nothing really has changed. He was asked about the squad and selling players. He said, look, if a player wants to leave, then we'll have that conversation. But as far as he's aware, everybody's happy at the football club at the moment and nothing will change. And then he was pretty much asked the direct questions, does that mean, you expect any sort of outgoings and ingoings? And he said, no, not really at the moment, but that obviously could change within the blink of an eye. I think Carlo's just playing it very, very calm at the moment and not giving too much away to the media. In other news, it is Dixie Dean's birthday today. Mr. Everton himself, the man that brought the number 9 into football, the first ever proper number 9. 383 goals for Everton in 433 games, including that unbelievable season in which he scored 60 league goals in one season, a record that is still yet to be broken. The Everton legend was born on this day in 1907, which would have made him 114 years old today. So big happy birthday to Dixie Dean. Everton Football Club wouldn't be the same without Dixie Dean. Obviously, there's the statue outside of Goodison Park, which is absolutely fantastic. And, Dixie is a true Everton legend. Like I said, Mr. Everton himself. When you think of Everton Football Club, you think of Dixie Dean. So very, very, very big happy birthday to Dixie Dean. He will always be in the heart of Evertonians for what he did for our football club. Not only for what he did for our football club, but the fact that he was the best centre-forward on the planet to ever kick the ball. Simple. Those stats speak for themselves, don't they? Those goal stats speak for themselves. So big happy birthday to Dixie Dean for today, of course. Everton Women announced earlier on yesterday that they have managed to bring Jill Scott back on loan from Manchester City, of course. Jill Scott was playing for Everton a few years back, went to Manchester City and now has returned on a loan deal until at least the end of the season. Willie Kirk was talking today about the signing and said that Jill will be introduced into training instantly and will have to be able to show the levels of the rest of the Everton women's side in order to be in contention of starting their next couple of games. But it is a fantastic signing. It shows an intent from the Everton women's squad and team and the club as well. Obviously the women's team have been absolutely fantastic this season. It's constantly the team is constantly growing, it's constantly getting better, the results are coming in. I've got the new stadium, of course, in Walton Hall Park, which is absolutely fantastic, and it's brilliant to see them doing some serious business in this window as well. Obviously, they kick-started their year with a fantastic 4-0 win against Bristol City to kick off 2021 in real style, and like I said, they're having a good season this season, and the introduction of Jill Scott and another signing which hasn't been announced yet but has been heavily teased by the official Everton Women Twitter account, of course, just means that they're going forward and it's only positive moves. And like I said, the intent from the club is absolutely fantastic, and it's brilliant to see the Everton women's team doing so well, and it'd be really exciting to see the return of Jill Scott in an Everton shirt, of course. In other transfer news, Ellis Sims has been loaned out to Blackpool for the remainder of the 2020-2021 season. This was announced earlier on this week. We did speak about it in yesterday's Talking Rubbish transfer show. We talked about the positives of the deal. Like I said, I think it's a real positive deal for everybody, really, all parties involved. The player himself, I think it's a real positive deal for, because ultimately he's going to a League One side where the hope is he's going to get first team experience. He's going to be playing consistently. He's going to be getting a lot more opportunities than he was at Everton. I think League One is a step up from the Premier League 2 and under 23s football. Look, it's probably it's probably understandable at the moment Ellis Sims isn't quite ready to play first team football in the Premier League. He's not at that level, but he's at an age now, 19 years old, where you really have to start thinking of the next stage in players' careers. There was very little point in him spending the rest of the season in Premier League 2 and then going out on loan next season when he's 20 years old and another year older, when you could just do that now and sort of not have that wasted year. Not a wasted year, because obviously he'd still be playing football, but certainly not at a competitive level like he will be now at Blackpool. So I think it's a fantastic signing. Like I said, brilliant for Blackpool to bring in a young striker, absolutely unbelievably talented player, by the way. I think he's scored over 50 goals in 80 games for Everton's under 23s and under 18s, which is a fantastic stat. Already had scored 8 goals this season. Brilliant move for the player. He's playing competitive football. He's travelling all around the country playing football as well, getting a taste of what it's like in a tough league in League One. And the hope is that he just plays consistently and he plays week in, week out, and he gets the opportunities that he deserves. The last thing we want is Ellis Sims to go to Blackpool and be sitting on their bench, because he may as well be sitting on Everton's bench every week. But if he's going there and he's going to play week in, week out, and he's going to get the experience, then I think it's an absolutely fantastic move for everybody, including the player. And it's going to be really interesting to see how he does at Blackpool. So fantastic move there for Ellis Sims. Comes obviously just after Jared Branthwaite's move to Blackburn, which I think is a fantastic move for Jared Branthwaite as well. Again, very similar circumstances. No point in him playing under 23s football because I think he's too good for it. You know, I think he probably fitted in the Premier League side, to be honest. Look, we saw Jared Branthwaite after the lockdown period and the remaining 9 games of the season, and he was absolutely unbelievable. He was fantastic. But obviously with our centre-backs at the moment, Yerry Mina and Michael Keane being the starting two, Ben Godfrey coming in, of course, Mason Holgate being there, I think it was very unlikely Jared Branthwaite was going to get any game time this season. So ultimately it's a big move for him, and he's already had his debut and was absolutely fantastic in it. So fantastic for Jared Branthwaite as well. Everton have announced a new multi-year partnership with Clarity Sports. Clarity Sports will become the club's new official team and business travel partner and match break partner. Part of Clarity Travel, one of the UK's leading travel management companies. Clarity Sports has signed a new multi-year agreement with Everton that will see Clarity facilitate the club's team travel for all fixtures and business travel. So that obviously is absolutely fantastic news as well. Another partnership for Everton Football Club, which is brilliant. And again, a partnership which ultimately brings more exposure to the football club, more income in, which can then be used for various different things like signings and stuff like that. And hopefully, maybe the players are looking at that now thinking, yeah, our level of travel now and business travel might just go up a little bit. But Everton have announced that new partnership with Clarity Sports, which is absolutely fantastic news as well. Really excited about that one. Another massive birthday earlier on this week. Another Everton icon, another Everton legend, another one of Everton's best strikers of all time. Bob Latchford, Big Bob, turned 70 a few days ago. Massive happy birthday to Bob Latchford, of course. Absolutely unbelievable player in his time at Everton Football Club. Again, like I said, left a massive legacy. Really is an Everton icon. Scored a half full of goals for Everton Football Club. Big Bob was his nickname because he was a presence on the pitch. And at 70 years old, to be fair, he doesn't look a day over 40. So a massive happy birthday to Big Bob Latchford, who turned 70 earlier on this week. The Premier League announced something new earlier on this week. They announced that all Premier League games from Saturday the 30th of January until the last week in February will be shown live in the UK. Now, when I first read this, I thought, is right, every Premier League game between, this weekend and the end of February is going to be shown live for free. Brilliant, everybody can see it, easily accessible. That's not the case. They are going to be shown live, most of them on BT Sport or Sky Sports, so you're still going to need to pay a fee. You're still going to need your BT package, your Sky package, etc. But it just means that every game is now available for a price, instead of, the usual where at 3 o'clock kickoff you can't watch even if you pay for Sky Sports and BT Sport. That, of course, has meant that there's been a number of fixture changes for Everton Football Club during that time. Our Premier League fixture away at Leeds has been changed. That is now on Wednesday the 3rd of February with a 7:30pm kickoff, and that is live on BT Sport. Our Premier League fixture against Manchester United at Old Trafford is now on Monday the 8th of February, so the Monday after that, 8pm kickoff, and that will also be live on Sky Sports, but that will be subject to the FA Cup 5th round and the fixtures in the FA Cup 5th round. Our Premier League fixture, Merseyside derby against Liverpool at Anfield, is now on Saturday the 20th of February. That will be a 5:30 kickoff, and again will be live on Sky Sports, so just under a month until the next Merseyside derby. And then lastly, our Premier League fixture at Goodison Park against Southampton will now be on Monday the 1st of March with an 8pm kickoff, and that will be again live on Sky Sports. So all of the fixtures through the back end of January and February have been pretty much chopped and changed, and we don't have one, which is an early kickoff, of course. Leeds at 7:30 on Wednesday the 3rd of Feb, Man United at 8 o'clock on Monday the 8th, Liverpool Liverpool at 5:30 on Saturday the 20th, and Southampton at 8 p.m. on Monday the 1st. So a lot of late kickoffs. In the next couple of weeks and months or so. Obviously, we play Sheffield Wednesday in the FA Cup on Sunday at 8 p.m. kickoff, so we'll have to get used to those. But of course, those fixture changes are because of the new statement put out by the Premier League, as to state that every Premier League game will be shown on television, not for free. I must say, not for free. Still got to pay your package, which you should get every game anyway. If you're paying £100 well, more than that, £100 each for 2-3 services a month, you should get to watch your football club every single week. But there you go, they are the fixture changes for Everton. Ali Daei, who Everton were linked with a few weeks ago, he was named as an Iranian football legend. He's an Iranian manager. He's also worked behind the scenes of football clubs as well. Ali Daei has come out again and said that I'm probably going to be a member of Everton Football Club, and it is a great honour to me. And that is according to Kicker, which I believe is a German publication. I don't really know what to say on this one, to be perfectly honest. I don't know Ali Daei. To be perfectly honest, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. What I do want to say is that there's a Iranian West Ham Twitter account who has been DMing me on Twitter, just basically giving me a bit of information, telling me all of the latest news and what Ali Daei is coming out and saying, and what he's sort of saying is going on. So big thanks to those guys. Absolutely, really do appreciate that. But I don't really understand what his role is going to be, what he's going to come in and do. He is a manager, but obviously he's not going to come in to manage because Carlo Ancelotti's Everton's manager. Whether he'll come in and maybe a scouting, employment, I don't know. Highly doubt he's going to come in to replace Marcel Brands. I'm still highly convinced Marcel Brands will sign a new Everton contract, even though he hasn't yet. So I don't really know if this one is true, and if it is true, I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. I don't know why we'd be employing him. I don't know what for, but I'm sure if it does come to, the club will announce all of that. They're not just going to say Ali Daei has joined Everton Football Club. That's it, really. They're going to announce what he's going to be doing and what his role is and why he's come into the football club. So I'm sure we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Another transfer that we discussed on yesterday's Talking Rubbish transfer show was the rumours linking Bayern Munich striker Joshua Zirkzee with a loan move to Everton. A lot of different journalists, Fabrizio Romano has come out and said Everton were in talks. TalkSport have come out and said Everton were in talks. Sky in Germany come out and said the same. However, Alan Myers has said that Everton sources have dismissed any interest in the young Dutch centre forward. Again, look, maybe it's just Everton playing hard to get a little bit. Maybe it's just Everton saying we don't want anything released to the media. We don't want people to know that we're interested in these players until the deal's actually done, or we can prove that the deal's actually done. I don't know, but it looks at the moment that Everton are hesitant to really come out and say anything on the matter. Carlo Ancelotti didn't come out and say anything on the matter today at his press conference either, although he wasn't directly asked a question about the player, from my knowledge anyway. So yeah, look, again, it's another transfer that we're sort of just going to have to see what happens. There's a lot of journalists, pretty convinced that we're in for him and that we're in talks for him, but club sources have come out and said that, that isn't true. So, again, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Another rumour in the last couple of weeks or so is Bernard has been linked with Dubai-based club Al-Nassr. Again, another one that we spoke about yesterday. They are apparently interested in bringing Bernard in for around £10 million, which I think would be an unbelievable deal for Everton, for Bernard, and for Al-Nassr themselves. Again, Bernard has been alright for Everton, and that's purely it. He's been alright, and for a player who's on upwards of £125,000 a week, he can't really just be alright. He's coming towards the last year of his contract now, and if we can get a £10 million transfer fee for him, I think that would be absolutely massive. So for me, I'd sell Bernard for that price, but again, it's just a rumour at the moment, and we don't know if there's any massive truth in that one. Another birthday to discuss. Tommy Fleetwood, professional golfer, of course, did turn 30 earlier this week. He is a die-hard Everton fan. So a massive happy birthday to Tommy Fleetwood. Hope that he had a fantastic day, and I hope the Toffees can give him a brilliant birthday present on Sunday afternoon. It was the under-23s Merseyside derby recently, in which the game ended 1-1 between Everton and Liverpool. Everton opened the scoring within the first 55 seconds of the game. Hughes tucking away a really nice finish. Unfortunately, Liverpool did equalise a little bit later on, and the game did end 1-1. Katia Kouyaté come on for Everton towards the end of the game. and was sent off for quite a rash challenge, to be fair. I'm not going to sit here and try and defend them. It was quite a rash challenge. It was a proper old school Merseyside derby tackle, but that game did end 1-1 between Everton and Liverpool. So pretty much like the last Merseyside derby between the both teams. At under 23 level, Liverpool scored a goal within the opening minute last time out and ended up holding on to win. Everton scored a goal within the opening minute this time out, but couldn't unfortunately hold on to win that game. According to the Liverpool Echo, Marcel Brands would like to see more former Everton players in coaching positions at the club and believes that it is important to have players return to the club to help bring through the next generation. This obviously comes after Leighton Baines has joined the coaching staff at the start of this Premier League season. Tim Cahill has been pictured a number of times at Finch Farm in full Everton gear, looking the business, as I think he is currently working towards his coaching badges. I don't think he's an official member of the coaching staff, but he's been back at the football club, he's been speaking to the players, he's been teaching the players a thing or two, and I actually agree with Marcel Brands. Look, having Leighton Baines at the football club, somebody with his experience, somebody who knows the club in and out, it's always good to have people around the club who know the club in and out and know the expectations of the fans and know what players need to do and what players need to give on a match day in order to impress fans. Because like I said, Leighton Baines has been an Everton player for over a decade, knows exactly what Evertonians expect and knows exactly what Evertonians want. So it's absolutely fantastic to have him at the football club again as a coach. And again, very same with Tim Cahill. He knows the expectations of Evertonians. He knows what we want. He knows what we desire and what we need. So again, I completely agree with Marcel Brands on that one. And then finally, Jordan Pickford has had an interview earlier on this week. He said that I am in a brilliant place. I feel I have been in a good period for a while, but you were never the finished article. I am improving and there is a lot to learn. I like that. I don't want to feel comfortable. I want to be pushed. And I think we can all agree with Jordan, to be perfectly honest with you. I personally think Jordan Pickford has stepped it up a level recently. He's been a lot better than he has been. He's been making less mistakes. Okay, he hasn't faced an awful lot of shots because of how good the defence has been, but nevertheless, I think he's been, really, really solid recently, and you can sort of see that. He's taking things on board now and he's maybe looking at himself a little bit more. Maybe the introduction of Robin Olsen into, the training ground and every day being around Robin Olsen is helping Jordan Pickford. But I think he's right. I think he's improving and you can see that in his performances. Anyway, that is it for this week's weekly news roundup. If you have enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. A massive, massive thank you to everybody for watching. Don't forget to check out our game preview ahead of Sunday's FA Cup 4th round fixture against Sheffield Wednesday. That is up now on the channel, so please do check that one out. We'll be back on Sunday with the weekly news roundup and the not with the weekly news roundup, sorry, that's this video, with the player ratings and the instant match reaction. Don't forget to look out for that one. And then of course we'll be back live on Monday with the game review. So big thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.